Welcome back to another Creature Crafts. Today's build is inspired by the Curse of Strahd, a D&D module I've been running with my friends for over 2 years now. They're making it pretty far, so let's jump in. Chapter 10, Ruins of Berez, Baba Lysaga's hut. You already clicked on the thumbnail, you already know. We start by building the house out of foam board. I made an executive decision to make each square of the house 1.25 inches to make it a little bit more playable. After we have the floor charted out, that way I can get a feel for how big this thing's gonna be, we need to make a tree. So I started with this Uncle Chris's seasoning, highly recommend it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap that in aluminum foil. I crumpled the tin foil before hot gluing it on, just to give it some texture. We're gonna cover all this up later anyways though. For the next step, we just kind of made some snakes out of aluminum foil. I'll show that in a little bit more depth here in a second. But yeah, take a strip of aluminum foil. I was kind of crumpling it and twisting it, making sure one side's tapered. We're making tree roots. Let me show you that a little bit slower. We're taking some aluminum foil, folding it in half, making a snake, folding the snake. Big half of the C on the left we're going to keep to a bigger standard that'll attach to the trunk, and the end on the right we taper more to make the tree root look, feel, deal. Yeah, make a bunch of those and you got a tree. A tree made out of aluminum foil. How about that? To finish off this tree, we're just gonna slather hot glue all over this mamma jamba. In all honesty, I tried to do this with Sculpey first. It crumbled to bits when I baked it in the oven. So yeah, hot glue was my second option. I actually think it turned out pretty cool. For the trunk of the tree, we kind of go up and down in a vertical pattern when we're laying down the hot glue. But for the tentacly part of the roots, we're really just trying to cover the aluminum foil because that's not going to take spray paint very well later. Once you got that bad boy done, we're going to do what we always do, cover it in PVA glue and black paint. This is going to help us seal the tree so we can ready it for paint later, but also to help show me where I missed hot glue over the aluminum foil, and I went back afterwards and fixed it. Now onto the walls, same thing, foam board. I used the base of the floor as a guideline for how big I wanted this. I tried to make it to like 28 to 32 millimeter standard, that way I can use this for all sorts of tabletop games. After I was done with the walls, I pulled out a figure, kind of measured up where I thought the doors would be and the windows, and using the miniature figure as a guide, I cut them out. Trying not to go too in depth with the lore of what this building's all about, as this is a crafting video, which I would assume for DMs, you would at least know that this is a ramshackle hut. So using a bunch of popsicle sticks, cut off the ends, started taking the back of a blade to it, chipping off pieces, making the wood look worn. Next we glued them down. I kind of did them off-centered from each other just to give it that cool wood paneling look. After a short time, you have something that looks like that. Just carry on to both sides. We're going to do 2 walls wood. I just made an executive decision to do cobblestone because I thought it would look cool for the front and back of the house. Using some hot glue again, we just raised the walls. Pretty simple. Besides the Sculpey fail at the beginning, this was the hardest part for me. I haven't quite figured out how to do roofs, so all I did was just make the roof bigger than the house And man, I just winged it. I hot glued it down on one side. This part's a little bit easier. Make some shingles out of some cardstock. Take your favorite cereal box, cut it up. Cut that bad boy into strips. Once you have the strips, you're gonna cut those strips into hula skirts. Once you got them hula skirts, you're good to go. Glue them onto the roof. Starting from the bottom of the roof, overlapping all the way to the top. A very similar thing I did in the trees video to make my trees. But this time, instead of it being pine needles or whatever, it's roof shingles. Check it out. Alright, cool, that's looking good. It's time to make some bricks. We're going to use XPS foam for this. You could probably use cardstock, but I like the juxtaposition that the offset cuts of XPS foam add to the depth of the build. So just one line at a time, we're putting down some PVA glue and gluing some bricks. It's a little bit tedious, but I find a lot of zen in doing this. There's lots of other ways you could do. I could have just carved the texture into the foam board to look like bricks, but like I said, I like the way this looks. Went and spray painted the trunk. And here I'm just gonna show you guys what the sides of the house looks like after they're all bricked up and wood planked up. For the insides of the house and the top of the roof part, I just used PVA glue and sand to make like a texture paste. I've showed this in other videos, but yeah, it's pretty simple. The sand adds texture, it almost gives it a stucco look. Yeah, beautiful. I skipped right past the painting step because I'm sure you guys are getting bored of hearing me talk by now. Added some final touches with a little bit of moss. Got this stuff from the Dollar Tree. Gluing it in place. Bam. Onto the reveal shot. Thanks for watching till the end. You know the drill. Like, subscribe. I don't know, leave a comment for the algorithm. I hear that helps out. I'm gonna shut up now. Y'all have a beautiful day. I love you. See you next time.